Hi, Earthlings. Okay, so I'm going to try and do my best here without offending anyone, hard as that may be. So we've got this narrative going on now. I just want to start here. You may have heard about things like the white hats, the black hats. So I just want to say this. There is the 6 thinking hats technique, a role-playing model developed in 1986 by Edward D. Bono. Each color hat represents a different perspective. White hats are supposed to emphasize facts. Red hats represent emotional thinking, feelings, gut reactions, perceptions, opinions. I know Mr. T wears a red hat. Black hats, doom and gloom, identifying problems, focused on risk. Yellow hats, optimistic, best case scenarios, sunshine and happiness. Blue hats, high level overview, the big picture. What do we need? Now, I have noticed that Biden has a bright light blue hat and sometimes a black one or a navy blue perhaps. Green hats, creative thinking, brainstorming, out-of-the-box ideas, creating opportunities. Probably could do with a few green hats. Okay, so like I said, we're in the 10 days of darkness. It's I think it finishes on Saturday. Anyway, I'd like to talk to you about a lot of people. As I said in my last video, they're making up some stories and make believe it's called, and it's also called the narrative. So now the white hats are supposed to be an information gathering kind of a thing. And there's this thing that's going on. There's like 2 people. I don't really want to say their names because I just don't want to get myself in any kind of drama. But one is a woman who's into banking. She's talking about money all the time. Remember, money's not real. It's pieces of paper. It's something they use. Anyway, it might just be digital, and then it's ether, isn't it? Ethereal. It's just a nothingness, just a number. Numbers are always to do with angels. Angels are big on numbers. 1, put 7 zeros behind it. You think you've got a lot, but it's just a joke on you because it's still lots of zeros. Now, there's so much I want to say about money as well, but I'll save it. So there's this narrative that everyone keeps on pumping out. Well, not everyone, just the people, just the assets. The assets, okay? So the assets are like CIA agents or different, CIA, KGB, whatever. So there's this thing, prime creator source. It's a hierarchy system, and it's kind of shaped like, so at the top is the prime creator source, and then below that is Metatron, giver of life, no gender, entity. And then they've got Melchizedek, Yahweh. Melchizedek, Yahweh. Now, could you get more opposite? This is supposed to be on the polarity of good. And I want to tell you that I described in my video that is the one below this, that Yahweh is a fire-breathing dragon who kills people. And Melchizedek, we don't know everything about him. He's just got a brief mention, but he owned Salem, or Salem was, he was the king of Salem that ended up becoming Jerusalem. And then we have here Archangel Michael is with Yeshua, which is Joshua. Joshua led the army of the Israelites over from the Sinai Peninsula into the land of Canaan to create the war against the Canaanites. And then, like, Gabriel replaced Lucifer and is in charge of the new creation. Okay. On the evil side, because they've got like these two split levels, there's Omega Metatron, who is the end of life, the right-hand man of Mortor. Then it says Semena, Lucifer, overtaken by Uraman. Now, Uraman, if I remember, comes back to the Zoroastrian belief system. And then there's Lord Seeker. He's a 15-foot white dragon, and he's the Draco bloodline. Then there's Loki, who's Enki, who's Poseidon, who's Samuel, the great trickster, the Anunnaki mutating races, cosmic vampire. So I've explained in a way older video that Samuel is the angel of war who was Lilith eloped with him and started the race of giants. So the first race of giants actually began with Lilith. She was the first earthling to get with her angel, procreate. And then after that we've got Marduk, head of the Cabal. But he was overthrown by the Council of Nibiru. Except for, if you listen to this woman whose last name is Gauguin, Kim Possible, she beheaded Marduk herself. Now anyway, so the belief about this narrative is that it's the starseeds, all earthlings are starseeds. Let's just state that. Okay, it's stars in our heart. But it's like earthling starseeds' destiny is to become the most powerful in the galaxy. The inter-universal multiverse, the cream of the crop. That's what they're calling us. That's in this narrative that they're pushing forward and trying to make people believe. I don't want you to believe that. You know, some things, I mean, this other person, Ismael Perez, has written a few books. Good for him. And, you know, we can all write a book. Even I love writing books, and I love writing all sorts of stories. But I'm not pushing my stories as the world agenda. Okay, so anyway, in fact, I don't even talk about my stories. What I'm trying to do here is we have an opportunity to create something new in this reality. And I think a whole bunch of people know it. And there are a bunch of people who have merged, mucked around with a lot of energetic stuff. The Illuminati, the Cabal, the Freemasons, all of them haven't foreknowledge because they had already a prior kind of a, what do we call it? Schooling or something like that. And so therefore they were ahead of us for a while. Now, I'm going to jump ahead because imagination is the power this year, and this is how we're going to get to the top of our, this is how we're mapping out, going through our fog and up to the plateau that we need to be on by the end of the year of the dragon. Creating our dam for our reservoir. Yes, it can be money, the current. But it can be how we use the energy to manifest the money instead of slaving. Okay, so I would like to speak again about Tiamat. Tiamat. Tiamat was the primordial goddess who was the personification of the sea, salt water. She is the great mother. Tiamat and Abzu were co-creators together. He was the personification of the freshwater beneath the earth. In the beginning, there was only Tiamat, Abzu, and Mumu, the mist, and their waters mingled at the boundary. Tiamat and Abzu favoured inertia and rest, a soothing lull. Yet from their commingling, the gods were conceived and came into being. Now the great churning of her waters upset Abzu, and Abzu decided to destroy the gods who were causing this, as it was disrespectful to Tiamat. Tiamat strongly opposed Abzu's idea because she was birthing these gods, but he was determined. However, before Abzu could carry out his plan, he was slain and sacrificed by the god Enki, who used a magic spell and built a temple over Abzu's body. This is in the ancient history from 3,300 years ago BC. 3,300 BC. This is in their tablets. So the temple became the birthplace of Marduk, the four-eared, four-eyed giant. Marduk's grandfather, Anu, made the four winds and gave them to Marduk to play with. The winds lashed upon Tiamat's waters, increasingly annoying her. The elder gods, Titans, perhaps, ? But the elder gods, the generations of the older gods before Enki and the other guys, they pressured Tiamat to kill the disruptive gods, and she finally relented, calling upon her army of water dragons and set Kingu at the head. When Kingu saw Marduk coming against him, he fled in fear. Kingu was taken captive, and then later on he was executed. And in a lot of the old tablets that we do see of Marduk, I think it's Marduk, because I don't know if he's got four eyes and stuff. He's only a side-on kind of thing, 4 ears and 4 eyes. But he's got like this little dragon at his feet. So perhaps he kept one, and maybe it's this one. I don't actually know. It's a lot to go into, and so much has been destroyed from that time period. So anyway, now Kingu was taken captive, and then later on he was executed, and Enki, the Enki god, created humans from his blood, dragon blood. Tiamat was slain by Marduk. Using a gale force wind, he opened her mouth and shot an arrow that broke her heart. Tiamat. From her body, the cosmos began. Now, I flipped from, because Marduk, it says he cut her and half her was on earth and the other half he pushed her body up, and it became the arching cosmos, which we call the Milky Way, I guess. That's the origin. Now I went to Egypt. So Tiamat. Now in Egypt we have Nut, or night. Our Lady of the Stars, unutterable peace. She is Ma'at, divine order, regulator of the stars. She is order from chaos, truth, and prevents our realm from returning to chaos. Ma'at is the harmony. So I got a funny feeling that what they're discussing in this ancient story was the flood, perhaps, the Great Flood. Now, Kingu, I found in Chinese we have, oh my gosh, Kun Nyu, which I think is Kingu. So in Chinese mythology, he was a dragon. He loved music with all his heart. His head is adorned on musical instruments, most especially the two-string moon-shaped fiddle. Qin Nyu was a yellow dragon. Please excuse me for my mispronunciation of Chinese. I tried to do it by looking up pronunciation, but it was AI and it was a bad pronunciation. Now, the keystone teaching that we have this year is about our imagination. This is our power. Okay? So, I don't know where to start because I've written so much already. With the right frequency and energy, we can actually make the reality obey us. Now, I've proven this on more than one occasion. So use your mind properly. Observation changes everything. The moment you're observing, the wave of light energy changes to a particle or material, and that is materialization. So we can observe quantum wave particle events occurring, materializing in our reality. Thoughts become things. Okay, quick story. It was a long time ago. I was in Australia, and it was hot. It was summer, and my children were at school, and I lived in the forest, and I'd driven 45 kilometres away to buy some groceries from the great big grocery store. And I was on my way coming home, and I was driving a vehicle. I hadn't put oil in the engine, and of course my engine seized, and I dropped the big end bearing. So I was sitting in my car for a little bit, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot stay here. It was a very long road, and it's not like everybody travels on it. It's not like how you see roads mostly. It's like a car, and then quite a while, and then another car. You know, I'm in the middle of nowhere kind of idea. So I left all the food and everything in there. I left the whole stuff in there. I was like, I have got to get back because of the kids, you know. So I started walking. Now, as I started walking, the heat was unbearable. It was so hot. It was literally extreme. And I ended up pulling my shirt off and tying it around my head because my top of my head was literally burning. And I said, please, God, I just need some water, just some water. And as I came further along, I saw this bottle of Coca-Cola. No, I think I said, I just need something to drink. Please, God, give me some water. But what I got instead was a bottle of Coca-Cola. Okay, so there was this full bottle of Coca-Cola that was on the side of the road. And I came upon it and I was like, I don't know if I should trust it. Why would somebody throw out a bottle of Coca-Cola? It could be poisonous. I was scared of everything back then. And so I didn't take it. And I should have, but I didn't. And I kept walking and walking and walking. It was a really long straight. And I walked and walked, and I could barely walk anymore. And the road went like this and curved and then went like this. And then in this curve part, there was 3 rocks standing, and they were kind of tall. They were taller than me. And they were just rocks, not really, they were skinny, a little bit fatter than me. And I was like, oh my God. So I was going to go and duck in those rocks in the shade. And so I went off the road, and I was walking towards those 3 rocks to get down into the shade before I perished out in the middle of the extensive heat in Australia. And this car was like, like that, and on its way, and then it hit the brakes. Now, I was way off the road, and I saw the car like that, and I thought it had gone, and I was like, oh no. But he had seen me in the last second before I went behind the rock, And he was like, my God, is that a person? That might be the person from that car back there. And so he was just backed up and came over and got me. And literally I was so distraught. I was very dehydrated and I was exceedingly hot. And I learned that you never, ever, ever leave your car. You leave your car no matter what the circumstances are and stuff like that. So it was a tough lesson, but I manifested a drink and I didn't take it. Okay, so this is my first. I'm a manifester when it comes to extreme situations. I've done it more than once, done it a lot, but just using that one. I've done it as a game and I've done it a lot, but I don't usually do it for myself. It's almost like I saved it, like just only use it 3 times, otherwise you'll run out of wishes. But I didn't realize you could use it for your life at all times, whenever you want. Now I do. Okay, so this is my second Saturn return. That was my first in that experience I was just telling you about, and I'm certainly going to do things different this time around. Now, the quality of our attention and observation influences the outcome that we see in our lives. So, what we're playing with here is the quantum field. So, so what we're going to do is we're going to control our attention because we're going to master our reality, okay? So we listen to our internal dialogue. We just tune in and listen to what are we saying. Like, let's say, same thing of the story I said before happened now. And a part of me was like, oh my God, let's get out of the car. We've got to hurry up and go. Another part of my mind on the inside would be like, are you joking? You're supposed to stay in your vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And this internal conversation always goes on in a moment of pressure or tension. And at the time of pressure and tension is the time of creation. Okie dokie. So, in the complexity of the moment, what happens is we will get an idea. But back to listening to ourselves. So, you can really do anything. So you can tell your destructive dialogue that, hey, remember last time we were able to create this, create that. Let's think of this. What is it that you need? Get the idea, bang, follow it. Now, I wrote this down. So, remember, fear is a very strong energy generator in the realm of manifestation. It's the stronger because we feel fear and it boop, 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 makes our heart quicken. So, fear-based situations are quick. When fear rises, your heartbeat rises. So, now quick is like quicksand, going back to our map. And that's how we get stuck. So how do we get out of quicksand? We lift our legs up and down until we can lay flat, roll over and get out. So to avoid sinking in quicksand, the answer is dance. So when you're along the part of the beach where everything's like sinking down, or you're in some area, wherever you are, and you feel like you're sinking, dance. That is my answer. Now, the gratitude mantra. So when fear rises in your heartbeat, sometimes maybe like someone approaches you and you're literally terrified of that person. They're not saying anything to you, they're just standing beside you because that's the kind of asshole they are. They're just showing you that they can come upon you and steal you at any time. Now, in your inside, in your mind, I want you to pick up your gratitude mantra. This is mine. I'm grateful for my powerfulness. I'm grateful for my strength in this. I'm grateful for my abilities that overpower this fear in me. And just repeat, because you've got to calm your heart down from fear. You've got to dial it down. So if we say that. Now, we raise our intensity in the mantra. We start believing. We believe in the words that we're telling ourselves. We recall our intention. My intention is to have the best life ever. That is a simple intention, I beg your pardon. So I'm going to create the best life ever. That's it. final. It's all I got, and that's enough. So we raise our intention, we say our mantra, and we recall our intention. The desire is to create the best life ever. We intensify that. We give it power. Best life ever. Give it power. And we take the risk necessary to negate the fear. So in this moment of tension or pressure, when you're confronted with a situation or a person or just whatever, and it's sort of like trying to like bring fear out in you, say the mantra. You can use mine. I share it with you. It works, all right? So use it, and you'll get an idea, and in that idea you'll get your realization, and then bang, you can make an action. You don't know what you're going to do as long as it's movement, okay? Right, so you have the power to alter the course of your life, and this is how we change the pattern. We desire the change, and we have a burning desire. It starts to burn in us more than fear. So the alignment opens a door. The alignment is your new idea or your revelation that you got, and that is called phenomena. And then we say, I want it. I want it really bad. And then you will it. You go, it will happen. And then you hope. I hope it will happen. And then you have excitement. It's happening. Okay, this is reality. Never abandon yourself. You are a great communicator. It just comes out of you. Step into your new identity. You are a powerful co-creator with the divine. That's the cosmos, the stars. Now, so it's our goal. Our desire already exists. Without haste, we do what is the best. I want the best life, so I do what is the best, the idea that I got that's going to step me into that emotion. We change our vision to our new desire, because our Creator is always looking into our heart. So feel it, imagine it, and be in the state desired. Live it, do it, be it. Energy flows where the intention goes. Become the best person you want to be. Apply the law of assumption. Change our belief. And we can change our belief in any person. We can change our belief in them that we want. Okay, so we can always imagine that it's better. Imagine that it's true that it's better, that they've changed or something like this. So imagine that everything's getting better, you're doing better, things are going to be better, and just know that it will happen. So you transfer your thoughts and you bring out the best and you make your way in life. Now that is the end of what I've got to say for this time, okay? Much love to everyone. Ka kite.